the stuff with Moose, I'm like, okay, is he trying to take Moose back to the Moose that we came to know, that everybody said future ROH champion, that when he came into Impact, we were like future Impact champion, star of the company, and or were you legitimately trying to destroy Moose? Like, there was enough of an ambiguous like type of thing there to where I was like, where is this going? Is that something you want, or do you want like a defined point?
I like ambiguity, and I like the fan to make a decision. Why do I love the movie American Psycho so much? Because at the end of it, you don't know if it was real or if it was all in his head. Things like
Spoiler alert.
leaving trails of breadcrumbs, using symbology, Easter eggs, throwing back. I think it's fun for fans to see, but at the same time, not everyone's going to see it. So you have to be able to tell a simple story within a very intricate story, perhaps. The thing with Moose was very real to me. I only went back to Impact specifically for that angle, because specifically when I was creating content, shooting things within my narrative, Moose came in and wanted to do a promo against my infamous gray wall. So we brought him in, and it was when it was announced that somebody was coming back, a former world champion to Impact, which may or may not have been me at that time. I actually don't think I have agreed to it at that time. But he came in doing the promo, and he dropped a few names, and he's been a close friend of mine for a very long time. And I've always seen his potential, like you mentioned. But when he's doing the promo, it was very standard wrestling promo, and I kind of just like, whatever, same shit, okay. But then when he started talking about me, he went to like a different level, and he was real, and he was who I always thought he would be, who I thought he could be. And then like I was playing on my phone, and I went, okay. And I was listening and seeing him do that promo. I'm like, I know I can bring it out of myself. I'm proving that now within this 90-day window to kind of create a new identity and take to whatever companies I go to, and also create my own thing on the side. But I wanted to try that with somebody else as well. So he was, whether the honorary recipient or the victim of it, time will tell, but I definitely went to Impact to prepare him to become who I think he should be, if that makes sense.
Sure.
He should be a world champion. There's nobody in this industry I'd rather fight for real less than him. And as he pummeled me viciously multiple times, I remember sitting there going, I do not want to fight you. Holy shit. So I think in the world of wrestling, guys that are true threats physically are lacking, and he's definitely one of them. It could be very much somebody special and carry a company based on that physicality he could bring.
So, is that why you
did
keep
I do my
asking me to
job?
get into wrestling?
No.
I took third place at a regional submission wrestling tournament, EC3.
Hey, cool. You also did wrestling training, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I think you sent me a picture of you doing an arm drag once.
Yeah, it was just so I could be better at this, though, and I could make jokes like this without feeling so bad for myself. But
well, that's what I respect the hell out of that, because whether you had aspirations to do it full time or you just wanted to learn that aspect of it so you can better report on it and tell our stories and have a bit of legitimacy behind what you're saying, I respect that, because I think that's necessary. You know, the aches and pains, even if they were brief, that someone might be going through. Someone might have a subpar match or a subpar performance, but it's dealing with a sprained ankle or a torn meniscus or whatever the hell else people have, injuries, or psychologically they're not in the right place. They had a fight with their girl. Things aren't going right at home, and those add into your performance. So you can, by living through it, you can better understand it, that maybe not everything is what it is on the surface or portrayed on television.
That was always the goal. I just wanted to be able to relate a little bit better. I would have felt weird not having the experience, but then going and talking about it. But we saw the Moose program unfold. Did that unfold how you wanted it to? Like, was the end product like what you had in mind? Because from what I understand, it happened multiple times, or there were some starts and stops there with the filming.
Starts and stops how?
Like, didn't Impact film it, and you guys were supposed to film it on your own? Like, how did that work?
Okay. Uh, did it go how I originally planned, me and myself? No, but I don't expect it to, because at that point I'm working for a company. Control your narrative. I control mine. They control theirs. I'm
Josh
working
Matthews
within
said you
them.
didn't work there.
Having said that, uh, was I happy with it? Extremely happy. I thought there was a great story arc. I think the only holdups to it was getting from point A to point B with so much time in between to not do so much physicality that maybe there's a little bit of redundancy, but a necessary evil to save the sanctity for where we were going at Bound for Glory. The original plan was, and this is why the narrative extended, available on my website, www.freeec3.com, has what I filmed with Moose prior to my return to Impact, because prior to my return to Impact, part of my conditions were I'd like to use him in my thing that I would like to build on the side going forward. And I will do this with him, and we will culminate at Bound for Glory. But it's somewhere in between that. They decided they wanted to do a cinematic match for Bound for Glory, and that's fine. Kind of leaving what we shot on the ground floor on the table, just sitting there. I was very happy with how we did the match. I thought the match told a great story. I thought it put Moose into position. I think the last shot of him sitting on the ring apron with that look in his eyes made him. Now, I've done everything I could for him. Let's see where he takes it. But originally, my intention was for halfway through this angle for him to come looking for me, come to my narrative. We have a fight. It's not a win or a loss fight, but it's a fight. That therefore, he learns more about himself within it. We go to Bound for Glory in a normal match, and then he becomes who he's supposed to be. He's victorious. He conquers the challenge. EC3, the character, can go die on his sword, having destroyed his past by allowing himself to be destroyed by whom he deems the person that can control the future of the company, so to speak. So it didn't happen that way. Still very happy with how it came out. And then I'm sitting there with that match with Moose, and I thought it was his best performance, the one I had with him in the extended narrative, that it just seemed like an opportunity. Throw it out there, see what happens. It's cool. The team of Manny Rivera, my cinematographer, and JC, the director, really put a lot of effort into editing that together into some whole extended package. And it's sort of a demo to hopefully maybe take what we create and bring it to a different light on a different forum. It's a demo. Take a look at it. It's cool. It's got relevant stories to the world. It has sweet music. It has good sound. It was a 4 or 5 man operation, so it's very.
Is that part of the appeal,
wholesome.
like that it is close knit too? Because I think there is, like, when I think of that, I'm like, man, that's what I like. Something that's put together by very few people, because you know that there's the creative vision is tight knit as well. And I mean, not that it's going for charm, but always when I'm about to watch something, if I know it's put together by a small group of people, I'm sort of rooting to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, I want,
Yeah.
how it's hard to put it into words, but there is sort of a groundswell and like that grassroots type of feel to something like that, even though it's produced at an incredibly high quality.
Yeah, it was very much exactly how you said. Very few people involved. Very much a singular vision shared by a handful of people. Just creating something. Why not? Have fun, tell a story, try something different. I think wrestling has fallen into the wayside where people aren't trying different things, whether they fail, whether they succeed, whether they're cool, whether they suck. And I've even told you, hey, will you look at this? And I want an honest feedback. You're like, I can't to my journalistic integrity, say I like something if I don't like it. And I say, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Please tell me. So, and as we go forward with that, I appreciate that opinion.
So the Impact run happened. So it seems like, based on what you told me, the plan wasn't always to do a cinematic match, but then pretty early on, I guess it became that.
Yeah, about halfway through.
So when
someone wanted to do it, and then that's cool. They also provided me the form when I released the initial version of the narrative, which was kind of my demo of 90 days of creating something on my own. I knew I would never have, it's as simple as I would never have the establish myself as a character get over match, because wherever I went to work, I would already be kind of known. So I kind of needed to do it myself. This is how this character acts. This is how this character fights. This is how their move set, so to speak. Yeah. And then culminate. This is the theme song I want to use. This is how I want the entrance to look. This is all things I want it to be, whether it becomes that or not. Elsewhere, to be determined, but this was my vision. Yeah, but about halfway through, they kind of wanted to try cinematic match. So I am very good at audibling and calling stuff on the fly. So
I brought up the Josh Matthews call because I absolutely hated it, and I thought it was.
You're allowed to hate it.
I thought it was terrible. I really did. I thought it was terrible, and I don't know Josh personally, but I thought it was terrible. But